We're going to prove to you that America is under attack by Democrats, Satanists, and witches. And we're going to show you this unholy trinity, this alliance. The Democrat Party, when you look at their party platform, it's a demonic death cult under Satan. Satan uses political parties like communism and the Nazis. To vote for the Democrat Party is to vote for everything that God hates.
The choir of principalities on the Satanist side.
Yeah.
On the demonic side.
Right. So Satanists and witches in the U.S. hate Trump and they support Biden. Okay. I know Biden is out, the Biden-Harris ticket.
Yeah.
But that's it's always good to have the right enemies.
Right.
If Satanists hate me and witches, they email me. So I guess I have the same enemies that Trump has. Objectively speaking, Satan is the force behind the Democrats. Some people call them Democrat Party. And if you look at the logo used by the Satanic Temple here in the United States in support of Joseph Biden during the 2020 presidential election, it's again, they use a 5-pointed star with a goat's head. And when you look at the logo that the Democrats have used, there's a similarity. It's basically two triangles that are interphased. One's light blue, one's dark blue. If you look at it in the internet, it looks like a goat's head. Yeah. I mean, it looks like the pentagram, the 5-pointed star.
Yeah.
In fact, it is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's a 5. Yeah, the Democrat presidential logo for Joe Biden was a 5-pointed star.
Yeah.
So
and the point is down, and the other points go up this way.
Just like the Temple of Satan's logo.
And the goat's head, the horns.
Yes.
That represents the horns. Yeah. So Daniel Greenfield, he wrote a front page magazine, and it stated, quote, like all progressive groups, the Satanic Temple came out in support of Black Lives Matter. Wow. Okay. The Satanic Temple, which it disguises itself from
distinguishes
itself from its rival, the Church of Satan, through its rigorously progressive politics, while accusing the Church of Satan of libertarianism, put out a statement by co-founder Lucien Greaves that blasted President Trump and accused the police of randomly killing Black people that could have come from any random leftist organization.
So this happened a few years ago.
Yeah, this happened a few years ago.
But the point is, so let me make a distinction.
Yeah.
You got the Church of Satan, which started in San Francisco. Anton LaVey, the founder, is dead. Then you have the Temple of Satan. These are new, younger guys. Started with Lucien Greaves, and they're in the East Coast. Church of Satan was West Coast.
Yes.
Church of Satan is not as prominent as Temple of Satan now. The Temple of Satan is very Lucien Greaves. They're politically active.
Yeah. See, and that's the difference between the other two. They were not.
No,
they
just weren't.
Wanted to have their own religion and
black
worship,
masses.
Black masses. The other two. And now this one,
these guys they're young people, college graduates involved in politics.
Yeah, they bumped it up.
And again, as Daniel Greenfield wrote in Frontman magazine, that Lucien Greaves just lied. I mean, but of course, his father's Satan. He said, when Trump was president, he said, "Oh yeah, Trump." He said he blasted Trump and accused the police of randomly killing Black people. I was a cop. Trust me, I don't know any cop that goes out there and randomly kills anybody. No, they don't hire nuts like that. Maybe Lucien Greaves in his church, he's got nuts like that, but law enforcement doesn't hire nuts like that. Lucien Greaves, just like his father Satan, he's a liar, because it's a lie that police randomly kill Blacks. It's a damn lie. I was a deputy sheriff in LA County for 20 years. I never heard this type of rhetoric. My sons are still cops. I still know a lot of cops. This type of rhetoric has never been used. I've never heard it. I've never heard anybody speak like this. The killing of Blacks, in fact, to be told, was true under the Democrats, Lucien Greaves. The slavery of Blacks, Jim Crow laws, this was true under the Democrats, Mr. Lucien Greaves.
Yes.
And truth be told, because that's what we do in this program here, and all the programs on VMPR, 90% of Blacks that are killed in the U.S. today are killed by other Blacks. I got that statistic from Larry Elder a conservative black lawyer
from
who's
Los
into
Angeles.
facts. He's a factoid guy. So I got his book on the shelf right there.
Yeah,
that's where I got that fact from.
Yeah. So there was a special report in 2007, and it was released by the Bureau of Justice Statistics, and it revealed that approximately 8,000, and in certain years, as many as 9,000 African Americans are murdered annually in the United States.
Horrible.
So this is very chilling, a very chilling figure, and is accompanied by another equally sobering fact that 93% of those murders in the fact perpetrated by other blacks. So those 93%, just look at the amount, have been by other blacks.
Perpetrated by other blacks.
Yeah. So the FBI, the analysis from the FBI records finds that 2005 alone, for example, African American accounted for 49% of all homicide victims in the U.S. Again, almost exclusively at the hands of other African Americans.
We put out these facts that Lucy and Greaves just lied.
Yes.
That cops are the biggest killer of blacks. No, that's a lie. Blacks are the biggest killer of blacks. Why?
Yeah, because they kill each other.
Because we have to reintroduce them to Jesus Christ.
Reintroduce it and start putting fathers in the home.
Yes, fathers in the home. Get them back to church.
Are Jesus loving
and Jesus loving blacks don't do that.
No, absolutely.
You don't see Lionel Richie and Stevie Wonder killing people. Yeah. These are Jesus loving black men.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So Lucian Greaves, the Pope of the Temple of Satan, the co-founder of the Temple of Satan.
That's what he is.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Anybody that's not Catholic.
Yeah.
Your church, whoever your leader is, that's your Pope. That's your Pope. Because you're listening to what they say, their doctrine.
Yeah. So Lucian Greaves, the co-founder of the Temple of Satan, is very active politically with the Democrat Party in the U.S. today, whose real name is Douglas Messner. He's a Harvard graduate who has been known to pose wearing goat horns on his head. He complained a couple of years ago. He said, quote, "I watch with dismay as in reaction to the election of Donald Trump, the least qualified, least dignified, least competent president in all of U.S. history," close quote. I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny how he said that, because now look at who couldn't have his conference this year. Because why? Finances, and people are aware of what he was doing.
And bad economy.
Bad economy. That
bad Joe Biden economy. So he had to close down
his
conferences. Unbelievable.
But
so let's talk.
President Trump was least dignified, right? He was less competent, right?
So let's talk about the Democrats and the occult bedfellows and say they're basically lying in the same. They're saying lying in the same bed.
Yeah, they're lying in the same.
Now, this is in 2016. It was reported that state Senate candidate Steve Hill, a former Marine turned Satanist and a Satanic Temple organizer, ran for a California Senate.
Wow, that's
for the Santa Clarita district. I'm glad he lost.
Yeah, I wonder if he came from, if he was in Desert Storm or any of those other, came back
probably
afflicted somehow.
Afflicted. So so an article says here that Steve Hill ran in a Democrat Senate primary as the first Satanist to seek public office. While he lost, the Satanist and Bernie Sanders supporter was able to secure over 10,000 votes from California Democrats.
Wow, that's
since
incredible.
Then Hill has participated in a Black Lives Matter rally.
Wow.
And in one comment noted the solidarity between the Black Lives Matter and Satanists. So Steve Hill, the Satanist, said there's a nexus between BLM and a Satanist. Steve Hill had mentioned reaching out to the Bernie Sanders campaign, but was cautious, noting, this is like a few years ago, obviously. He says, "I don't know how they'll react to getting an offer of help from Satan."
Wow, that's incredible. And you know what? He's a Marine. I just can't.
Shame on him.
I can't figure that out.
I think every Marine is disgusted with him.
Yeah,
absolutely disgusted.
So, the Sanders campaign's response.
So this was a few years ago.
Yes, a few years ago, it remained unclear that the American Humanist Association's Freedom Thought Equality Fund PAC, they did back Steve Hill alongside establishment Democrats, figures like Republican Hank Johnson, Representative Hank Johnson, Representative Zoe Lofgren, and Representative Pramila Jayapal. Okay, so these are all Democrats.
Yes.
That
yes.
oh yeah, we want him to come in. They supported him.
Yeah.
So, but none of them were asked by the media how they felt about the backing of a political action PAC that was also supporting a Satanist. The PAC describes Steve Hill as an atheist and neglected to mention the Satanist part. Of course, they're going to do that because they know people are going to recoil and not accept that.
It's the same thing that happened. The same thing that happened here in Tempe. We have a Satanist. A Satanist. And I called him up. He was the first, he had posted on Wikipedia
that he's a Satanist.
He did a satanic invocation at the Arizona State House. He invited Satanists there.
Yeah.
Then I emailed him, called him, and wrote an article.
And I want to debate you.
I said, I'd like to debate you. You're a Hispanic. You're a disgrace to the Hispanic community. You're a political Satanist and Hispanic, and you're doing an invocation to Satan. Then he went to his Wikipedia page and he changed it. And he put that he was an atheist. But I've got a copy of the original Wikipedia page of his before he did that.
Yes.
And then when he changed it. So I got both of them if somebody and I know the exact date that he changed it because I had a friend of mine go in there and he showed me exactly he's one of those computer geeks, and he showed me exactly when Juan Mendez changed his post from Satanist to atheist. So they try to use that interchangeably because they know most people will accept Democrats. If you call yourself an atheist, most people say, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
He doesn't believe in God. Yeah. Okay, well,
but they still know that most Americans, if you say I'm a Satanist, they're going to recoil.
They're going to recoil, absolutely. Yeah. And that's what he. Oh, and not only that, he's married to his wife. She said she's an atheist.
Yeah.
Yeah. She could. She's speaking in you could just look her name up and there's a part she's speaking as an atheist.
Athena Solomon.
Athena.
I doubt it. If your husband is a Satanist, I doubt that you're not a Satanist.
Right.
Okay.
Right. She didn't say specifically, but she was talking to an atheist group.
Yeah.
Atheists. Yeah.
The Satanic Temple deceptively uses two faces in its advertising. Okay. We see it here in Phoenix as well with these two politicians.
Yes.
The temple openly displays satanic iconography and antagonizes people of faith by insulting them, while its co-founders use the art of deception and trickery by operating this other organization called the Reason Alliance, which promotes a secular humanistic message. The co-founder of the Satanic Temple goes by Lucien Greaves, but when he's operating the Reason Alliance, this atheist organization, then he uses the name, then he goes by Douglas Mesner, his Harvard student name. This is deceptive double-speak mask that Satanists depend on for their audience. Basically, they depend on their audience's stupidity. We'll be right back talking about the nexus between Democrats, Satanists, and witches.